Hi there! In this video, we will learn about finding the standard equation of a circle which passes through 3 points. This means that if we have 3 points, where these 3 points passes through a circle from these 3 points given, how are we going to find the standard equation? Now, since we know that these 3 points passes through the circle, that means we can substitute those 3 coordinates into the standard equation of a circle. Now, do you remember how does the standard equation of a circle looks like? Okay, let's do a recap. The equation of circle can be written in 2 forms. The first form is what we call as the standard equation of a circle. The next form is what we call as the general equation of a circle. Standard equation looks like this: x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal to r squared. And general equation looks like this: x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0. Now, do you remember how to obtain the general equation from the standard equation? You just have to expand. Expanding these squares, you will get the general equation. Now, how to get it back from general equation to standard equation? The process is what we call as the completing the squares. If we complete the squares of this general equation, we will obtain the standard equation. Now, to solve this example, which wants you to write the standard equation of a circle and not in the general equation form, so we can start by using this formula. But hold on a second. If you want to use this formula during your working process, you will need to expand. I know that sometimes my students will do these mistakes often. They will do a lot of careless mistakes when they try to expand the squares. I know that we can still get the standard equation from the general equation, so in this example and in this video, I'm going to show you a method on how to find the standard equation given that we use general equation from the start. Let's take a look. The first step is to substitute the coordinate of x and y into the general equation. After we have substituted all these 3 coordinates, we are going to obtain 3 equations. And then we have to solve these 3 equations simultaneously. Start with the first point, -3, 4. We substitute into the general equation, where the general equation looks like this: x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0. Now, my coordinate is x -3 and y +4. So I'm just going to substitute x with -3 and y with +4. Next, we just have to simplify this equation. -3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, minus with 6g plus 8f plus c equal to 0. Now, we are going to arrange this so that it's only g, f, and c on the left side and the numbers on the right side, like this. Now, we just label that as the first equation. The next point is 4, 5. Repeat the same steps. But now your x coordinate is 4 and y coordinate is 5. After substitute, just simplify and rearrange. Repeat the same steps for the last point, 1, -4. Where now 1 is the x coordinate and -4 is the y coordinate. Now, after we have obtained the first equation, second equation, and the third equation, how to solve for g, f, and c? Now, the easiest way is by following my second step. Step 2 is to eliminate c, and then we will obtain two equations. Now these two equations will not have the c variable. So what's left is just to solve for g and f. So how to eliminate the c variable? Now we have first, second, and third equation. You can choose any equation. Choose the first two. For example, if I want to choose the equation number 2 and equation number 1. I see that equation number 2 has 8g and is bigger than 1. So I can do this, which is 2 minus with 1. You can also do 1 minus with 2. That's no problem. I will write down equation number 2 on top and then equation number 1 below it according to its variable position. After that, I'm going to subtract these two equations. 8g minus negative 6g, 14g, 10f minus 8f is 2f, c minus c, that's where we eliminate the c variable. And then negative 41 minus negative 25 is negative 16. This will be our fourth equation that we have reduced or eliminate c. But before I label this as my fourth equation, I can see that here it's actually divisible by 2. Let me divide everything with 2 to make it simpler. And what's left is 7g plus f equal to negative 8. This can be labeled as my fourth equation. But since I see that f here is standing alone, and that means it is also helpful if I write f as the subject, because I can substitute f into the next equation and then label this as my fourth equation. We have obtained one equation here, so how to obtain the next equation? So to obtain the next equation, you can use one equation from before, which is equation 1 or equation 2, either one, and you have to use equation 3 because you have not used it. So let's say I'm going to choose the second equation minus with the third equation. You can also choose equation number 1 minus equation 3, or you can also choose equation 3 minus equation 2, whichever you like. But make sure that you have used all of the equations. It doesn't matter as long as you have eliminated the c. Since I want to write equation 2 first and then subtract it with equation 3, so I have to arrange them according to their order. Equation 2 on top and then equation 3 below it. After that, I'm going to subtract these two equations. 8g minus 2g is 6g, 10f minus 8f is 2f, c minus c is eliminated, negative 41 minus negative 17 is negative 24. I'm so sorry guys, I just noticed an error here. It shouldn't be plus 8f, should be minus 8f just now. So I'm going to correct it here. So 10f minus negative 8f should be positive 18f. Now, the coefficient is 6, 18, and negative 24. All of these coefficients can be divided with number 6. We have to reduce it to the simplest equation. Why? So that it's easier for us to solve the simultaneous equations. Because if not, then you're dealing with large numbers. And you know what happens when you deal with large numbers? You tend to make more careless mistakes and lots of careless mistakes. Okay, now, this is your fifth equation. Well, as you can see, it's g plus 3f equal to negative 4. From here, you know that you can substitute your 4 which is f, into equation 5. So let's do that. So we have reached the step 3, the last step, which is to substitute or eliminate the equations from step 2 to find f and g. Like just now, we have concluded that to find f or g, we can just simply substitute 4 into equation 5. But you can also use elimination to solve this. After you have substituted 4 into equation 5, you will get the value of g, which is -1. Next, to find f, just substitute g into the fourth equation. Now you have found value of f is -1. Don't forget, we do have another variable that we need to find. It's not just g and f, but it's also c. So how to find the variable c? To find the variable c, which is situated here in the first, second, and third equation, you can simply choose any equation to substitute g and f to find c. So for example, I want to substitute into the third equation. Once we have obtained the value of c, which is -23, what's next? Remember, the question wants us to determine the standard equation. So how to find the standard equation from finding the g, f, and c? Well, now you have to relate what you have known before. You know that the standard equation form is in the form of x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal to r squared. And we know that h and k refers to the center of the circle, hk. Now, what is the center for a general equation? Center for general equation is known as -g, -f. And we have found what is our g and our f in this question. So, what is the center of this circle? The center of this circle is -g, -f, and we just substitute in our g and f inside, -1, -1. So, I found that the center for this circle is actually 1, 1. Then, this also refers to the center in the form of standard equation, which is hk. So, this means that my h is equal to 1 and my k is equal to 1 as well. Now, once I know that my h is 1 and k is 1, I can simply substitute those values inside this standard equation form. But I also need to know what is my r. So how to find the r? Remember, from the general equation formula, we do have a formula for the radius. The formula for radius is r equal to square root of g squared plus f squared minus c. We also know what is the value of g, f, and c. Just substitute all of that inside. The value of r is 5. Now we have found the last variable to be substituted into this standard equation. So what are we waiting for? Substitute into this standard equation x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal to r squared, where my h is 1 and my k is 1 and my r is 5. We just have to expand 5 squared and change it to 25. And that's our final answer. Do not expand x minus 1 squared and y minus 1 squared, because once you expand it, it will not be in the standard equation form. It will be in the form of general equation. So this is our final answer. Thank you for watching.